They're best known as the First Ladies of 106 in Park.
Don't miss 106 in Park tonight.
Right now, we got Beyonce in the house.
And now Free and Rocsi are using their voice to help get out the vote. The three of us talked about the upcoming election and why you need to be in the know. There are a lot of minorities right now who feel like, their vote doesn't count. How do we shift the narrative with that sort of thinking?
By talking about it every single day. A lot of that is from growing up and people not intentionally, but like our vote doesn't count, or if you go ahead and vote what you're voting for, they don't care about the black vote. And that's just a lot of stuff that a lot of our people grew up with, no matter what age you are. And so it's fighting that's been input in their heads, talking about it, and then letting them know how easy it is to get out and vote once you educate yourself. So it's something that's systematically been put, making it hard for people and taking your name off polls and making it difficult. So we want to talk to people and give them the education they need to make it easy and actually vote and get off of the old way of it doesn't count, because it does.
I think what's failing in our system is the education that goes behind voting, is knowing that you have to really get involved on the local level, because those representatives are the ones that are going to be initially electing who we want in office. I think that's where it gets skewed, where people believe that their vote doesn't matter, and you start hearing, oh, well, they're going to vote who they want to. No, the people that you vote into office is your voice, and your voice does matter. So if you're not going to the polls every 2 years to vote your local office leader, then yeah, you're gonna mess it up when it comes to voting for the president. And your vote still counts when it comes to our electoral college. It still counts. So you just have to educate yourself. And as Free said, the process, I'll be honest, the process is a little bit tedious. But what we're here to do is to prepare you for the process. That's why mail-in voting is so important. You get time. It's kind of like getting a take-home test. You can take your ballot home, and you can look online. You can cheat a little bit and Google what each person is doing and fill out your ballot at home. I'd rather a take-home test than a pop quiz and show up at the ballot and not know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, really, really, really being prepared, but we really have to get out of the mindset that we're only voting every 4 years and start getting into the mindset, no, we're voting every 2 years, actually, guys.
And I want to add on to what Rocsi said about our local and our state voting. So many people don't realize if you have to vote for your mayor, right? Your mayor appoints the police chief in most states. We're dealing with so many civil liberties with police brutality and stuff going on. You want to know and help put whoever is in your police chief and other appointees that the mayor does, that the district attorney does, that the attorney general does. So all voting for your local and your community and state representatives are the ones that have your voice in that. And that is just as important as the presidential election.
Y'all bringing up the local election, it brought me to this. Did you guys see that yellow pain video?
So we see the same thing, but all our votes really do count, and they'll never really let it show. So now I'm finna break it down, because if I don't, you would probably never know. First
that went viral.
Yes. Yeah, we love it. Free sent it to me. Yeah.
Oh, the guy?
Yes,
Yeah.
and how he broke it down with the 3 levels and how we forgot and why it's important to get out every 2 years, like Rocsi just mentioned.
Yep.
Talk to me about that video. I just thought it was so important.
I saw the video, and at first, of course, when you're listening to a song, you're like, what is he talking about? I thought he was saying negative about it. And then I said, no, it can't be, and kept watching it. And he explained it in such layman's terms, and to music, which we all naturally listen to.
He taught us through a rap that was completely relatable and broke down the system for us.
You know, back in middle school when they taught us, it was 3 branches of the government. We forgot it when we got older. It's the judicial, the legislative, and executive. But all we know is the executive. That's the mayor or the governor and the president.
I think we did forget, our junior high government 101 classes. I think we did forget the importance of our voice, because we get jaded as we get older. We start getting other influences, outside influences into our system and in our brain. And we're still sponges at the end of the day. It was catchy, and it taught us something that a lot of music doesn't do anymore. It kind of took me back to like the NWA days, like that old school hip hop where it was teaching you something. It was teaching.
Why do you think this election is so important, Free?
Wow. Because there's so much at stake. Because we are in a country that is just being run by fear. Because we have a leader currently who does not seem to care about civil rights violations that are happening every day, and that the rest of us seem to care about. I think it's just time for change, and I think we have the momentum right now. We have the energy. We have every reason, to get out and vote.
This election is so important because we're seeing how our current administration is separating us. He is pitting us against each other, just on police brutality. He doesn't see it eye to eye. He calls people on the other side of the field good people. Like, it's just outrageous that one of the highest prestigious chairs in the world is being run by somebody who I feel is trying to have a dictatorship, Although Free and I are not here to tell you who to vote for, but it just shows you the importance of what the persona of the person that holds that office, somebody with accountability, somebody that's not narcissistic, somebody that is actually for the people. For myself, immigration reform is very important to me. I came into the United States as an immigrant. Barack Obama was the first president that I was ever able to vote for because I didn't have the right to vote. So I come from another aspect. Like, I know what it is to not be able to vote because I had that. I was on a green card here in the United States, and I know what the process is, and I know the privilege it is to vote. And so I always vowed that anytime I had a chance, an opportunity to vote, that I was going to do it. But just imagine just the mistreatment of immigrants in the concentration camps, that's what I'll call it, where they're forcing sterilization to immigrants. They're taking the uterus out of women so that they cannot have any more babies. The putting children in cages. I mean, who wants a leader like that? The president holds a power that we look up to. Children look up to him. It's like, I don't see that right now.
My first time voting or taking it really seriously, I was 30 years old. I may have voted once or twice, growing up, but I wasn't in an environment where it was, something that we did. Now, we have voting parties. We have times where people get together and we debate in the living room about different candidates. And I think it is important for people to vote, but it's also so important this time to get educated. And that information is everywhere. And so we want people just to get educated and figure out a plan and go vote. But for me, I'm into the process now. It always seemed overwhelming. It always seemed like I wouldn't get it, or how can I understand it? I don't even know what they're talking about, right? So a lot of people feel like that, and I understand those that feel like that. Snoop Dogg is someone who it's his first time voting. And I love that he's talking about it because he's helping take the shame away from people who haven't voted. Like, there's people who don't vote that feel ashamed that someone like Rocsi understands the privilege, right? So it's just a difference in the way you came up and how you got it taught to you.
And that just goes for me when I always ask, how important is the Black and brown vote? And I think it's very important because there's a lot of misinformation surrounding it. There's a lot of people working very, very hard to keep us from voting.
I feel like all candidates need to earn that Black and brown vote. Look at what they've done in the past. Look at what they voted for. Look at who they voted in office. They should earn that. And follow up on what they're promising. And we have to be very careful that we hold people to what they say. And that's the new thing now. We're ready.
And you have to make sure that you, again, do a little bit of research and don't just go to the ballot and vote for the Black person or vote for the Spanish person, because you might be voting for a Candace Owens and you might not like her. You might, but you might not like her. You know what I'm saying? So you have to, sorry, I'm not supposed to be, I'm supposed to be biased, but still make sure you know who
do your research
voting for. Just be careful. Don't just go for Johnson or Perez. Johnson or Perez might mess you up. You just, you have to be informed on who's running for office and make sure their values align with your values, Maybe there is some, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that goes back to that take-home test you were talking about, right? So if you to do the mail-in ballot, you can Google who you're voting for.
Exactly. Look, don't give me a take-home test and I ain't gonna take it. I'm gonna take a take-home test before I take a pop quiz. I'm just saying.
Who are you telling? And the country's made it even hard for that because the mailboxes are missing in some states. They had to stop some mailboxes from being, and they did it real quietly over the past year and a half. And then COVID adds a whole nother level of, situations and being safe through all this and being safe through your voting. That's why the mail-in voting is such a good thing. We just got to make sure those votes get to the post office. I agree.
And Free, you brought up Snoop, so I wanted to say this. One of my favorite records over the summer was Little Baby with his Bigger Picture. And I don't know if you've seen the video, but the social justice message behind it.
It's a problem with the whole way of life. It can't change overnight. But we gotta
that was a very serious video. It was a very
serious video, right? And it was touching. It was in the moment. How important is it for celebrities, for entertainers to use their platform to bring awareness to social issues, to voting?
I think it's super important if it's what's in their heart. Yeah. I think if they feel that they can add a voice, a view, then they should be allowed to do it. And we should push that as much as we push the times that they feel like they got to be saying what else they got to say. When it comes to being an artist, I'm all about freedom of speech. And if you choose to use part of your voice or all of your voice to raise us up or to teach us or to grow us, then I'm all for that. I love that video. And some videos are hard to watch for me. I cry over every little thing I see, but I love that video, and I love the work that they all decided to put in to make that happen.
Celebrities have a platform, but so do our local lawyers, doctors, attorneys' offices. Your favorite barbershop probably has more influence than a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? Your beauty shop has more influence than a celebrity. If you're getting a roller set and sitting under the dryer, or you there, getting some color in your hair, beauticians and everybody that's in your everyday life have more power and voices to you because you're familiar with them than you are with a celebrity. So yes, I love that they use their platforms, but at the same time, don't knock the people that are in your community that are trying to say the same thing and they live right next door to you. I went and I met with the local sheriff and got his phone number and card. So if I ever had an issue with any of his police officers in his department, I was gonna call him. Because I'm gonna be like, you don't know who you're messing with right now. I'm gonna call, do you know who this is? But you have to put up the effort to do that yourself. You can't just hold a man accountable when the man shows up at the door. You gotta hold yourself accountable too.
To get that information. I love that, Roxy. That's a good idea. Go meet your local authority, your local police station. Go see who that is.
Walk in.
I want to know who he is.
I stop them all the time. I'm like, hey, police officer, how are you? What station you work out of? Or it could be, what's your name? You got a card? Nice to meet you. Like, we inherently we are afraid of police officers. I'm not gonna lie. I still have that fear, but as a more adult person, mature now, I understand I need to know who they are and who's getting paid in my community to take care of my community. It's more important than being afraid of them.
And so I want to lastly ask you guys about your new IGTV series. It's all about voting. Can you tell me a little bit about it and what we're going to see?
We always on 106 in Park had a huge voting initiative. And now that platform's not there, that doesn't mean we don't still have platforms. So Free and I got together, and along with other organizations that she's gonna mention afterwards, after I finish my spiel, we just want to teach you the importance of voting. We want to teach you what the process is. We want to tell you that you could take your ballot home and cheat on the test and Google everything and then bring it back to the post office. We want to tell you how to be prepared. We want to tell you that even though COVID is very much still alive and here in this country, you can still do social distancing, have your mask, show up early to the voting polls, know where your voting polls are in your district, make sure that you're registered, because it's such an important cause. And if we can do that and educate through our platforms, which we'll be doing through BuzzFeed and have a series of shows that we're going to be putting out, then we're going to go ahead and do that.
Our whole reason we're doing this is to educate, like get people to know that you can register to vote, you can request a ballot at home. You should start to plan for voting, meaning put reminders in your phone. You can go online and there's some sites, I think vote.org, that will send you reminders on your phone. You can become a poll worker if you want to help out your community. You can become a person that brings the elderly to the poll. There's so many different ways and organizations and ways you can organize to make sure you get out to vote. So our series is just going to be about those ways, about changing some of the mindsets of people that just feel like, oh, I never voted, why start now? And those who are new to voting and getting them over the anxiety of it, because sometimes you can feel a little nervous. It's serious business. It really is. And so we're just happy to have this. We're thankful for the Leadership Conference and SoSay and BuzzFeed for saying, let's go, Rocsi and Free. Let's get the word out. So hopefully y'all enjoy the series.
And that will do it for us. Thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, and keep the conversation going. We also want to give you a heads up. Over the next several weeks, we'll be talking to a panel of experts in our voter survival guide. We'll be talking about all the issues that are important in this upcoming election. You won't want to miss it. And as always, shoot us an email. Let us know how we're doing. We're at cultureconversations@foxtv.com.